San Antonio Spurs are selecting. They have taken Dylan Harper officially. So here we go. We're into like the full scale. This is what we're doing now, is breaking down draft picks. So Dylan Harper, a 6'5" guard from Rutgers, 10.5 wingspan. Bryce, what is your take on Dylan Harper?
Yeah, I mean, very excited. This is a guy that I came around on throughout the college basketball season. I will be honest, back when this was a Big Five draft, he was actually 5th in my list of those guys. Back when this was the Cooper, Dylan Harper, Ace, VJ, and Nolan Traore draft. And I was a little lower coming out of high school, if I'm being completely honest. But as I continued to watch his play and really, and I know you're going to dive into this because we've talked about it before on this pod, is the nuance in the way he plays. He's big, physical guard. I love his body control. I love the physicality he plays with. He has this nasty in and out hesitation dribble that he can go to. And so he has all of those things, but he plays with nuance. He knows how to use ball screens. He sets them up. He has patience. He'll snake it. He'll gel it. He has real suddenness in his change of direction. I'm sure we'll talk about the jumper, and it's going to be important to talk about the numbers and what we think and how it projects, especially with the fit with the Spurs. And then I also think that like he has a chance to be good on the defensive end. Is it going to happen early on? I don't know, because primary creators take a little bit of time. You want to get them there offensively, then you let that defensive end of the floor grow. So it depends on what his role is and how much offensive usage, but I think he has the potential to be a real two-way player as well.
I think that what he does best is he just has a very polished offensive game in terms of his footwork and his handle, in addition to being a guy that has a very creative mindset in terms of his handle. He has a ton of moves off the bounce. He's extremely balanced. He plays with real like physicality as a driver. Yeah. He has no problem using his hip, using his shoulder, using his legs to be able to just like kind of bounce off of guys and be able to get where he needs to go. I love the way that he navigates bodies on the interior. He is also great, I think, at setting up defenders with moves and then manipulating them and being able to, get them into the position he wants to get them to, and then setting them up for a counter, right? Like he'll go hesitation, right to left to right between the legs, and then like backspin because he's got the guy leaning completely to his left, and then backspin to his left. And it's just awesome. You know what I mean? Like he has that ability to really get there. The weaknesses, like the concern would be, okay, what is he as a pull-up shooter? He hit 37% or so as a catch and shoot player this year, which I think will allow him to be successful playing off of De'Aaron Fox particularly. But I do think that shooting off of the dribble is going to separate him from being like a genuine, like all NBA superstar toward just being like a great, like NBA basketball player, basically. That's going to be the difference here, I think.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Actually, on Synergy, if you look at like the spot up 3-point shooting, it's even better. It's over 40% on just like the spot up play types. And so to your point, I think even though we both consider him whatever to be a primary on-ball guy, a primary initiator, those numbers are interesting in terms of early in his career and what he will be asked to do, and playing with the Spurs and De'Aaron Fox, and even playing off of Wemby, right? Because at the end of the day, Victor Wembanyama is going to play with the ball in his hands, and you have to have players around him that space the floor and can attack that. And so I think, to your point, the biggest thing with the shooting is off the dribble. The 2-point number off the dribble, the 3-point number off the dribble were not great. The finishing was, and that's what's great about him, is you can believe in that. And again, like I love that we get this chance finally, because a lot of our mocks, we've like knew they were going to last 2 hours. So we quickly went through 1 and 2 onto the rest of it. And so now we get to wax poetically about these guys. I cannot emphasize enough the finesse aspect of his finishing. Like that combination of his physical build and his willing to play through contact with contact, combined with the ability to slide through defenders and finesse finishers and all of, like, that is such a dangerous combination for an on-ball player. And so that's what has me excited about him, especially if the 2-point shooting from 2 and 3 is able to get to a league average position.
Yeah, and look, like, I'll, just shout out this as well. Like, the intel on Dylan Harper is sterling. Awesome kid. Got to meet him very briefly in Santa Barbara. Really, really good dude. The family, obviously, like Ron Harper, NBA All-Star, played with Michael Jordan on the Bulls for a minute there. The mother is really the one. Like, I think that people probably saw that on the broadcast there. I'm not listening to the broadcast, but I did see his mother up there. His mom is like really the one that is, the rock who, like, honestly, like, played a huge role in teaching him the game of basketball. She's a basketball coach herself, Maria. Really, really, really high-end family in that regard too. So every reason to buy in to Dylan Harper, in my opinion. Every reason to buy in to him becoming a really, really high-level player.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I want to, mention the defense again. I liked a lot of his off-ball defense. There was some ball-watchy possessions that, are a little concerning, but I thought he had good communication, good awareness. I thought overall he was engaged outside of those possessions. I kind of liked it. The defense has some things, navigating ball screens, some of that stuff. But I do think eventually he's a two-way player that makes an impact on the defensive end as well. And he probably has some matchup versatility, Sam, with his size, his length, and his physical build.
I think so too. Like, I think he's going to be able to guard up the lineup. I think that probably, honestly, he'll probably guard twos a little bit better than ones.
I think I would agree.
If you made me bet. In terms of like the fit in San Antonio, it's a lot of on-ball stuff, right? I totally get people thinking that and believing that. I understand that is a real factor at the end of the day. That, how much ball is there to go around for everybody, right? But yeah, I think that Dylan can play off the ball, especially while he's learning and, as a rookie in his early part of his career. To me, though, the one that is interesting is Castle more than Harper. I think that Castle is the one that could, need to figure out how to shoot at the end of the day.
Real quick, just a few notes I had specifically about his off the ball offensively at Rutgers, where he started some possessions. He has some of those instincts. He missed some relocation opportunities and stuff like that he would need to figure out. But I did like even his offensive rebounding and the understanding of being able to attack there. So I think he's going to be able to figure out the movement, the cutting, the offensive rebounding. We mentioned the catch and shoot numbers where he can make it work early in his career.